Hey guys, welcome back to GreyWolf TV. We are continuing on with the X-Files onto episode 10 of season 4 after our big two-part conspiracy episode, which I really enjoyed. So not really any recap or anything to do like that, other than to say, if you are enjoying these X-Files episodes and you haven't subscribed yet, I would appreciate it if you hit the sub. We've got a long way to go, but without further ado, let's carry on. Episode 10. What? Was that like a laser or... I am going with this is a dream, because that doesn't make sense. Oh my god, it's on a little girl. Oh, okay, that's weird. It's a dream. Oh my god, that gave me chills. Ooh. As long as it was in the same country and I could get there in a car, I'd be going to check it. The exact location, because you never know. I mean, was it not needed? Oh, no, he's brought a little trial. Oh, no, here we go. He's got him here.
Concentrate on this area over here. Right, just give me a minute, Scully, okay?
What happens if there's something there?
I keep having this dream. It's about a little blonde girl.
Sir, Mulder, if you
doesn't care.
destroy evidence, we may never find out what happened here.
I know what happened. She was strangled. He used an 8-gauge electrical cord. He took something from the body post-mortem, a trophy, a piece of fabric cut from her clothes.
Wow.
ICAP named the case Paper Hearts because of the trophies the killer
He's
took.
been doing this a long
All the
time.
victims were abducted from their homes.
Did you?
I concluded that we were probably looking for a salesman, someone who traveled around a lot, someone who could gain people's confidence.
What about the trophies he took, the cloth hearts?
We never found them, but we didn't need them to make the case. I mean, we had him cold on 13 counts of murder. He admitted to 13. The polygraph said he was telling the truth, but that always bugged me about this case.
I don't think you ever stopped thinking about this case. I believe that you may have solved it in your sleep.
I mean, Mulder has got a very clinical, logical mind, and he's very good. I mean, he was on the fast track. We know all this because of his criminal detective skills at working out not only crime scenes but perpetrators and getting in the mind of them, which is precisely what he said he had to do with this. So I think Scully's kind of right. I think your brain has just processed it like a running video of showing you, taking you to the crime scene, taking you to where she's buried, showing that there's the heart missing out of her nightdress. And that's another one of his trophies, because your mind has always wondered, were there more? Because you convicted him, but you never found his trophies. And it would get to you always wondering if indeed it was what he says, where I always surmised there was more than he let on. If they found 13 of them, the guy admits to 13 of them. For all you know, there could have been 25, but he's not going to admit to more if you've never found anything. So I understand that. But I like the explanation of Scully saying your own brain has systematically over time been processing this, and it's come to the forefront now. It's come to your conscious mind.
I believe her name is Addie Sparks.
Okay.
She went missing from her home in King of Prussia, Pennsylvania in June of 1975, right?
That would mean Roach started way before we thought he did.
Mulder,
This could have been his first.
Are you up for that?
Oh my God, so he's saying it's too early. This could have actually been his first one, and this is the one you never found. And perfect back then, mid to late 70s, salesman, selling vacuum cleaners, going from homes to home. I mean, you couldn't do that now, but this was the time of all the psychotic killers, and obviously this guy's preference was 10-year-old girls.
Frank Sparks?
Can I help you?
We found
Yes,
her.
I'm Agent Scully. This is Agent Mulder. We're with the Federal Bureau of Investigation. May we speak with you?
You're saying the man that did this is already in prison?
Yes, sir.
Yeah.
He won't get out.
You do this full time, telling people this kind of news?
No, sir, not full time.
That missing was worse than dead because
You never know.
you never knew what happened.
No.
Cloth parts he collected, he would have wanted to keep them close to him. For a traveling salesman, that means inside the car, right?
Maybe. You're saying the hearts might still be in his car?
Well, he doesn't have them in prison. His cell is searched regularly. His mail is examined.
Don't tell me you found it.
I've been, detailing it. Dropped the bed shell and did the decals.
Oh my god, how creepy would this be? This poor lad here has restored an old classic 70s car by the look of it, and what you don't know is you've been driving around in a serial killer's car who used to murder young girls. I would have to get rid of the car, that'll be it.
Helping in detail.
Yeah, okay. You just got your seat wide open.
Kid said he took the camper shell off.
Oh. Of course. Well, if it's in there, the only place it could be would be in the lining. The roof lining. Alice in Wonderland. Mad Hatter, I said.
Mad Hatter.
Oh my god. There they all are.
14.
Patty Sparks. 15.
15, 16.
16.
Two more victims.
You son of a bitch, there was another. They said they had 13. So on top of Addie Sparks, 14, there's another 2 as well, so there was 3 in total you didn't know about. He's finally found his trophies. What a place to hide them. I mean, I can see that being overlooked at the time. But if that were possibly a case today, they would tear that car apart. Or if I was the investigating person in charge, which Mulder was at the time, and he said it bothered him that he never found his trophies, I'd have had that car turned into fucking number plates before I'd have given up on trying to find them.
16 victims, John. How come you said there were only 13?
Is that the other ones you found?
I don't know. Yeah, 13 sounds more magical, I understand you take this very personally, Mulder.
Yesterday you said something about me taking it personally. Why did you say that to me?
I was selling vacuum cleaners in 1973.
He's put in your head.
I made a sales trip to Martha's Vineyard that year, and I sold a vacuum cleaner to your dad.
What do you know about my sister?
He's definitely psychotic.
You could bring me my hearts, and maybe I'll tell you more.
Oh.
Martha's Vineyard?
Well, how would he find out about that?
Through the prison library, the inmates have access to computers and the internet. Look, he is playing with you, Mulder. He is committing emotional blackmail, and you are letting him. You
I agree.
walked into that room with your heart on your sleeve. He saw vulnerability, and he took advantage of it. What are you saying you believe now?
I don't know. I don't know what happened. I don't know what to believe.
I love how this series does this. It leads you down one path for so long. His sister was abducted by aliens, and then they just bring an individual episode along and crack that entire belief that you thought you had with him, that that's indeed what has happened, and then make him and you as the viewer question whether it was this all along, and you just blocked it out, as I mentioned. But I'm with Scully here. I think you've just, if this is all coming to you now consciously, piecing it all together, I think your mind has picked up on the fact that your sister was 10 and it was at the same time, and you've got a guy in front of you that did this, and he's just played to you.
These fabrics, either one of them.
What am I looking at?
Just look closely. Do they seem familiar to you?
How's she going to
Familiar how?
remember?
Just familiar. Dad never bought you a vacuum cleaner, did he?
Yeah, a long time ago. But I don't use it anymore.
Where is it?
Well, it's here under the stairs in the storage.
Oh, well, that changes things. Is that just a coincidence? And it was nothing to do with him, and your dad just happened to buy that model? Improbable. Is it he really did sell your dad that vacuum cleaner, but he has nothing to do with your sister? Or is it all of the above?
John Lee Roche apparently spent most of 1973 in Boston. He did take one sales trip up to Martha's Vineyard in October of that year. And no one has more insight into Roche than Agent Mulder, and this is still Agent Mulder's case.
It is.
You and your sister were sitting in front of it, playing a board game with little red and blue plastic pieces.
That's not
I was
possible.
watching from the window. I was very careful.
If that's true, tell me where my sister is.
Pick her out.
What?
You choose the one that was your sister.
And I'll tell
and
you.
I'll tell you where she is.
Bad hat. Oh, this is horrible.
Let's get a team out here. Let somebody else do this.
Help me, Scully.
You're not going to stop him now, are you? Oh, God.
It's not her, Scully. Am I right?
How'd you know?
Samantha broke a collarbone when she was 6. It was her
Right.
left collarbone. We had a rope swing out in the backyard.
You know, like I said, it was a 50-50 chance.
Yeah, but you knew, didn't you?
Tell us the name of that girl.
That was Karen Ann Filipponte. It smelled wonderful.
What year?
July 1974. I had
See?
her mother on the hook for a Letrovac argosy, but the last minute she said thanks, but no thanks.
So you got the door and said, this all proves the point, though, doesn't it? We know they have no empathy. They don't perceive this as right and wrong the way the rest of us do.
You need me to show you. You need me to lead you through, because after all these years, anything less than that's not going to satisfy you, right?
This is Special Agent Fox Mulder with the FBI.
Gonna do
Badge
it,
number
aye.
JTT 0471011111.
Can I use the lavatory?
No.
Hands in your lap.
First play?
Excuse me, I
Yeah.
have to get by here.
She's really excited.
He's at it already.
You having fun?
Stop.
Now.
What's your name?
Get him away. Get him away. Damn. Maybe you saw your little sister,
You
but
and your
never
dad
got an
went back.
opportunity.
You ready?
Go.
November 27, 1973. I watched the house for hours. House next door. Play pinochle, I don't know. Whatever
Your
else
eyes
you did
over.
back then.
Go on.
So after they're gone, I get out of my car and I move closer. About ready. So I move to the junction box. I cut the power, and the lights go off. And then I moved around to the front door, and I was ready to kick the door in. It was 1973. It was a different world back then.
It was.
And then what did you do?
Well, you remember that. I came in the front door. I took your sister away from all this. To a happier place.
That's exactly how it happened?
Please tell me he's off.
Right here in this room?
Yeah.
Wrong house.
Yeah. I
My
could see
father
that.
bought this house after he and my mother divorced. This house is in West Tisbury. The house that Samantha was abducted from is in Chilmark. And you use them against me for this.
You're just resisting me.
And you're in the wrong house, you stupid son of a bitch.
Okay, that doesn't quite add up. I get he's like, yeah, you're in the wrong house, so you screwed up, you're wrong. Fine. Doesn't explain how that Hoover is in your mum's basement in the house where your sister was abducted. I just think Mulder's, because he's so emotionally compromised here and he's trying to piece it together, I think this guy didn't kill her. I think he possibly looked through the window and was possibly casing to take your sister, never got the opportunity for whatever reason, but he's got the wrong house. And the only reason I'm saying that is because of the Hoover, unless it is literally all a coincidence.
First flight's at 6 a.m. Enjoy your last few hours of freedom. Come on.
Oh. Say. Oh, no. No.
How do you explain yourself, Agent Mulder?
I don't.
You don't. A predator is loose because of you. God only knows how many hours lead he's got.
I don't know if he's got your gun in your badge.
With the FBI, I'd like a passenger manifest. My badge number is JTT. Agent Mulder just called 10 minutes ago. They
There you
gave
go.
the same information.
Yeah, he's used your badge to be able to find out where she lives.
He had a badge. He said he was official. Oh my God, what have I done?
Not your fault.
We sent a unit over to pick up the girl's
You
mother.
need to stop him.
We're on our way down.
Okay.
What am I gonna tell her? It's all my fault.
It's not your fault. It's my fault.
9809 Alice Road, apartment number 6.
How do you know?
Alice in Wonderland. He's the Mad Hatter. That's where he got the idea in the first place.
This guy wants... Do you know something? I think this guy wanted this. I don't think he wants to go back to prison. I think he wants to get his hands on one last little girl, knowing you're probably going to kill him. I'm nervous. But he will put her in front of him because he's a coward. They all are.
You always seem to find me.
You okay, Caitlin?
I have your gun, Fox.
Or,
Caitlin, can you do me a favor? Can you count to 20? Can you do that? Will you close your eyes and count to 20 out loud?
You're not giving me very much choice. I really don't want to go back to prison.
no, I can see that.
How are you going to find her without me?
I'll live with it.
How sure are you it's not Samantha?
Don't play his game anymore. I mean, I know he scared the girl to death, but better have been scared than dead.
I got back some lab results. The dye analysis determined that the fabric of the last heart was manufactured between 1969 and 1974. But beyond that, there's nothing more they can tell us.
I don't think you will now.
But I do know you. Why don't you go on home and get some sleep?
Especially not with the passage of time. Really enjoyed that. Okay, that was episode 10. And a standalone case, but kind of interlinked with his sister. But it never really was. I tried to call it with about 10 minutes or so to go with the episode, with everything that we had evidence-wise to try and sum up whether it is, whether it isn't. No. The minute you walked in that prison door, telling him that you found another girl, and you know there's more than he confessed to, you were his meal ticket. That's all it was. I'm not going to go more into how did he know this, how did he know that. I went through it in the episode as much as I could. I don't know how the Hoover that he sold your father plays into all of this, other than what I said in commentary. He may have visited your house. You know for a fact, you've checked, he was in that area in that year when your sister vanished. But it doesn't mean he took her. And I don't think he did. But unfortunately, we get one last heart there from one of his victims that unfortunately will probably never get resolved. But you probably, I mean, he didn't show it with the second one that you found, but you're probably going to you've given the parents of the ones that never knew what happened, especially the guy you went to go and see, some sort of, as they say, closure that you now know for certain. Because as he mentioned, there's nothing worse. Missing is worse than dead. Because one tells you what happened, the other one tells you nothing. People just upping and vanishing doesn't tell you anything. They could be living the other side of the world, and especially when someone's taken as a child, you know, they can be brainwashed, they can block it out, they could end up having, you know, a relationship with their abductor, like the Nightingale effect, because they're a kid and they don't understand and they don't know. They could have completely grown up not knowing and not remembering who they were as a child and where they were. That's bad enough. But to know nothing at all is worse. than having a definitive answer. And yes, okay, Mulder made a mistake letting him out. I think he made a mistake letting him out, but what else could he have done with presented with the evidence he had at that time that there was a chance, but he just played to what he knew was going to get to you. How he knew all that extra information, Mulder gave an explanation as to why he thought he was interconnected with this guy and why he knew so much, because obviously a lot of what he mentioned there wouldn't have been available to be looked up. But there you go. That was a heartbreaking case. And nicely visualized for us with the dream and then the laser and it explaining and the Mad Hatter thing, him being the Mad Hatter and all these girls were his Alice's, and you finding his trophies is what led you down all of this path. He just used you. And yes, he deserves to get shot in the head. End of story, as far as I'm concerned. Someone like that shouldn't get to rot away in prison. Why should he? You've taken 16 girls over this period of, what was it, nearly 20 years, from mid-70s till you caught him in the early 90s, away from their parents and ruined God knows how many families, and you just get to have 3 square meals a day in prison playing basketball. No. But these people never change. The minute he had any opportunity to continue his, whatever you want to call it, fetish, desire, he honed in on that girl off the plane by using your badge, and he went straight for it. But I think he wanted one last go at it. He said himself, I don't want to die in prison. So you knew your time was up. You knew at the end of the line. He just provided you the means. Right, there you go. Again, a very, very good episode. Left Mulder kind of broken again. But we'll be back for episode 11 in a few days' time. If you want to watch it in full length, by all means, go and check the link in the description and you can see the full episode over on Patreon. And as I mentioned at the start of the episode, so I'll mention it again, if you're not already subscribed, I would appreciate it if you hit the sub button and give the video a thumbs up if you enjoyed it. This was one of the very, very good episodes that I think is going to be one of the memorable ones that I remember. Not quite sure whether it'd make it into the top 20, but we'll see when we get there, and we've a long way to go yet. So until then, I will see you for episode 11 next. Take care.